Ciao guys, Marie here from Just Live Your Thoughts and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the culture shocks that I experienced here in Italy. Now, when I say culture shocks, it doesn't necessarily mean something negative about Italy. It's more on situations that made me go like, wow, really? Like, oh my goodness. And these are also situations where I actually had to ask Marco about it because I didn't understand what was happening. Now, what I'm about to list down, I know that there are way more culture shocks that people have experienced, but these are just, I guess, the basic and also some of the situations that I've experienced that I wanted to share with you. So if you know some other culture shocks that you experienced that you want to share, you can go ahead and comment in the below. But before we start, if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Maria and I'm a Filipina currently living here in Italy with my Italian husband. We do travel vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, and also informational vlogs. So if you want to support us, you can go ahead and click on that subscribe button just so that you are updated with our vlogs and videos. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell just so that you are notified once we upload a video. So without further ado guys, let's get started. Let me start off guys with one of the most important things in the morning for me, which is coffee. And I mean, I like it. I mean, Italians love their coffee. They need to have it. They have to have it. And I feel like I really belong here. But why is this a culture shock for me? It's a culture shock for me because I've never been in a place nor have seen so many people have so much coffee in a day. Italians have coffee in the morning, some even before lunch, some after lunch, in the afternoon, and some even after dinner. But we have to take note though that the coffee isn't like, you know, the ones that we have in the Philippines, which is usually 3-in-1. The 3-in-1 usually consists of water, hot water, coffee, sugar, and milk. But here in Italy, their coffee is espresso. So if you don't know what an espresso is, this is an espresso. So it's like a shot of coffee, like literally a shot of coffee. So they fill it up to here, usually maybe up to here, and then you just take a shot. To me, it's very shocking because even just one cup of coffee for me in the morning has my acid rising up. So what more when these people have so much coffee per day? But then I guess they're used to it, they love their coffee that way, and I really can't blame them. Now here's a funny story guys. I remember Marco's brother came to the Philippines for our wedding one time and he just flew in, he just arrived and it was in the morning and he was experiencing some jet lag. So of course in the morning he doesn't want to sleep, he didn't want to ruin his body clock, so he said, I need coffee, let me just have coffee first. So of course, me being me, a Filipina being me, I took him to one of the coffee shops and it wasn't even Starbucks. I'm not gonna name the coffee shop, but it was a coffee shop in a mall and I said, okay, just order your coffee there. And he ordered his coffee and he said, 1 espresso please. And then me and Marco waited outside and he comes out with a cup of coffee, like bigger than this, like a regular cup, and it was filled almost to the tip, and it was filled with water, it was filled with milk, coffee, and sugar. But that's not only that. When I tasted it, it was really, really disgusting. It didn't have any taste of coffee at all. So that was kind of embarrassing, of course, serving this type of coffee to an Italian who really loves and knows their coffee. But then again, of course, remember guys, I'm not generalizing all Italians. Some Italians maybe have a coffee once a day, maybe twice a day, 3 times a day. It really, I guess, depends on the Italians. And some Italians don't even have coffee. Like I said, Marco doesn't drink coffee at all. The next topic I'm going to talk about is breakfast or colazione. But I can't blame them guys. I mean, in the Philippines, we have breakfast and we have like rice or maybe even last night's leftover or fried rice with eggs, and you know, it's just so good. But here in Italy, I must say that Italians really love sweets because they even have sweet things for breakfast. One of that would be the cornetto. This is one of the breakfasts that they usually have. Cornetto is usually with Nutella inside, or maybe you have a white chocolate inside, and then you have that with your coffee. This is the food, or cibo. So when we talk about food, there is a lot to say. I'm not going to go into details on this. I will just talk about the main pointers of the food that really gave me a culture shock. So what I guess gave me the culture shock is that Italians have an Italian meal structure. But of course, it really depends on the day. I mean, I'm not saying that Italians have this every day. What I noticed as well is that they usually have this if there is a specific gathering, maybe it's a Christmas time, maybe it's New Year's. This is when they usually have an Italian meal structure. I'm gonna start off with the aperitivo. Aperitivo, you usually have wine, you have prosecco, you have the olives, and something very, very light to just start off the meal. After the aperitivo, guys, we have the antipasto, which is usually a little heavier than the aperitivo. With the antipasto, guys, we have the salame, we have the prosciutto, we have the mortadella, we have the cheese here and there, we have the pancetta, maybe we have another olive. So these are mainly finger foods. After the aperitivo and the antipasto, we move on to our primo. So with the primo, guys, or the first course, this is where the risotto comes in and also the pasta. So after the primo, guys, we have the secondi, which is the second course. So this is where the fish comes in, the meat comes in, and then maybe with the meat, you have the vegetables. After the secondi, guys, everyone's favorite, which is the dolce or dessert. With the dolce, guys, you can have torta, which is cake, gelato, we have tiramisu, and all the other sweet things that you can think of. So after every meal, you have... So after a meal, it doesn't actually end there. Usually, Italians drink another cup of coffee or they drink digestivo. Italians believe that digestivo actually digests your stomach or burns everything that you've just eaten in that meal. So digestivo can be limoncello, amaro, or grappa, any alcohol. It's a type of alcohol that burns down your throat. For me, it just burns down your throat because for me, I don't drink it. And to me, it's just a way, or it's just an excuse for Italians to be drinking alcohol after a meal. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is a big culture shock for me, guys, which is smoking. I've never actually been in any place or never seen so many people smoke in one country. Like when we went home in the Philippines last year, we didn't see any cigarette butt lying around in public. I didn't see anyone smoking in public. I didn't actually see anyone smoking when we went home. To me, it's just very, very different to be in a country where everybody smokes. Like anywhere you go, in the street, in public, in offices, in an elevator, people smoke. How is this possible? How can people smoke in an elevator? How can people smoke in a building? It's just crazy. Like when you think of it, we're living in the year 2020 and there's still so many people smoking here. Here in Italy, there are a lot of smokers. This one is a fun one. Italians are impatient. Another culture shock for me because I never realized that Italians were really impatient people. Sometimes we're on the road and there's just a little bit of traffic, maybe 5 cars in line because a truck needs to get out. Like 1 minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds that you're in line, the person at the back is already honking. As if, this honking would make any difference, like as if it would help the economy or as if it would help the situation. Italians are just impatient people and that's just how they are. I'm not saying that it's something bad, I'm not ranting about it, it's just how they are. Sometimes when we're in traffic, and I mean Marco is as well, like he can be impatient at times. I will have to agree to that. He is Italian, so I don't blame him if he's like that. But he gets frustrated on the road, especially when it's traffic. Let's say, for example, we just stopped like 3 seconds and he's already complaining. And I'd be like, babe, this is like nothing. This is nothing compared to the Philippines traffic. Like, do you want me to bring you guys to real traffic? Do you guys know what traffic means? Another fun thing is siesta. Like, everybody loves to sleep. Well, I love to sleep. I love sleeping. Like, I could sleep all day. But seriously, guys, like here, I've never been in a country, I've never been in a place where you actually have to take a siesta. Usually, maybe I don't know about the bigger cities, but in a town like this, everything is usually closed starting from lunchtime, which is 1 p.m. up until, let's say, 3 p.m. So from 1 to 3, you have your lunch and then you take a siesta. Like I said, I don't know if it's the same in a big city, but in a town like this, everybody takes a siesta. I'm going to move on to our next topic, which is when you move into a new home, you have to do the mandatory house tour. And this is quite funny, guys, because the first time that someone toured us into their home, I think it was my in-laws. First time that we came, they immediately toured us, or toured me, well, because I was, new. They toured me into their house, like, okay, this is the bedroom, this is the bathroom, this is the downstairs. And I'm kind of thinking like, why? Why do I need a house tour? And then after that, somebody else toured us. I don't remember who it was. And then I'm kind of thinking, this guy is like bragging about his house. Like, why do I want to see all of your house? Like, why? And then suddenly I realized it's part of their culture. So yes, when we moved into the house and people came over for dinner, for lunch, Marco did the mandatory house tour. The problem with that is if you know that people are actually coming, you really have to clean. Like you really have to clean your whole house because you know that there is a mandatory house tour. But after that, it's only to the people who are new to your house. But if they're coming for the second time, you don't have to do the house tour again. It's just usually the first time. Next one is no one-stop shop. Like if you want to buy fish, you have to go here. If you want to buy meat, you have to go to the other side. If you want to buy the pasta, you have to go another side. If you want to go to a one-stop shop, you have to go to the mall, to a real big grocery store where everything is there. In the Philippines, when you go somewhere, let's say for example, you go to a shop, there's usually everything there. Let's say for example, you go to a pharmacy. In the pharmacy in the Philippines, and I know other countries as well, if you go to a pharmacy, there are of course medicine because it's a pharmacy, but then you also have maybe you need something for your face, you need alcohol for your hands, you need a face mask, you need other things besides medicine. Here, pharmacy is just pharmacy. If you want other things, you go somewhere else. So there really isn't any one-stop shop here, which can be annoying, of course, in a way, because sometimes I take you to my vlogs and there was one time where I had to go to a meat shop and then I had to do grocery to another side, and you guys get what I mean. So it can be annoying at times, especially if you're in a rush. But if you want to get some exercise done, it's a really, really good exercise, especially if those two places are very much apart. Moving on to our next topic is water. When you walk into a restaurant, guys, or if you're about to eat outside, do not expect to be served with service water or tap water. When you ask for tap water, the waiter's probably gonna be like, eh? Like they don't know what you guys are talking about because you have to pay for your water. It's either naturale or frizzante. So no, they do not serve service water in the restaurants here. You gotta pay if you want to drink. One thing that really bothers me, like this really bothers me, is Italians do not know how to remove their shoes when they're at someone else's home, and even when they're in their own home. In the Philippines, we usually have house slippers, or we don't really walk around, of course, in the house with our shoes on. I noticed that with Marco, like the first thing when we were living together in the Philippines, I noticed that because he was walking around with his shoes in the house. And I'm like, seriously? You walked outside and then you walked in the house? Do you know how dirty that is? Here, when we moved here, I told him, can we please not do that? But then of course, when we have visitors over, usually my in-laws, of course they can have their shoes in the house. I'm not gonna tell them, please remove your shoes. What I do is I just clean the next day. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. I have listed down most of the things that I wanted to say, some of the culture shocks that really shocked me in a way. And if there are things that I missed that shocked you, let me know by commenting on the below. And that ends our video for today. So if you guys like this video, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up with my upcoming videos and vlogs, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell just so that you're notified once I upload a video. It's been a great video once again, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next vid. That's it for me, guys. I will see you guys next time. Arrivederci!